how did Poppy and Kissy Missy meet up with each other? After activating the power inside Home Sweet Home, Kissy Missy tries to kill the player until she is stopped by Poppy, who lets her know that we didn't do anything wrong and that we're here to help them. During the time of us being around them, however, it's clear that the characters share somewhat of a close bond with each other, as you can see Kissy Missy being as gentle as possible with Poppy. Even at the end of the chapter, when Kissy Missy is attacked, which I'm gonna make a theory on soon, you can hear the fear and distress in Poppy's voice, showing that she was truly concerned for Kissy's safety.
We need to be cautious. There's something... What's she doing? No! We're coming! Just hold on! Come on, go faster! Missy!
But how did the two manage to meet up, or even find each other in the first place? We know that in the end of chapter 2, the train that was supposed to be our way to escape changed directions due to Poppy, claiming that we are too perfect to lose, and we ended up crashing deeper into Playtime Co. And Poppy was also on the train with us, and we figure out that in chapter 3 she's perfectly fine. She wasn't found by Catnap like us, and when we do finally meet up with her, she hasn't really suffered any damage from the crash. But if you remember this one scene from chapter 2, we first meet Kissy Missy while we're trying to go through a gate and finish one of the puzzles, as suddenly a door opens and Kissy Missy comes out and comes towards the gate. She looks at us and cocks her head to the side a little bit, trying to understand what our objective is, and once she realizes that the lever is what we need to continue, she pulls it down for us, gives us one last look, and walks away. But here's the thing, Kissy Missy wasn't on the train with us, and she was nowhere to be found. So how did she end up being down in Playcare with us? Well, I have 3 theories on how this meetup could have happened, with my first one being that Poppy went to find Kissy Missy after the train crash to help her around Playcare. What's really confusing to me though is why would Poppy abandon us after the crash to where Catnap is the one who finds us and tries to kill us? There's a chance that she ended up landing somewhere else after the crash and couldn't find us, and decided to venture off deeper into Playcare to figure out how to stop Prototype via some clues or just some items lying around. But it's unlikely that she would have tried to do this on her own, because it's clear that she saw us as the vessel to help clear everything and stop the Prototype once and for all. Or maybe we actually did land in the same spot after the crash, and once she saw Catnap, she ran away to find Kissy Missy so she would have someone to help navigate her through Playcare. But it's a little unlikely for this to happen, as we can see Kissy Missy looking at a picture of a girl in Home Sweet Home, which might be what she used to look like before the experiment, but she won't acknowledge our presence during this, and once we leave Home Sweet Home, this is when she attacks us. This little bit of info means that Home Sweet Home is most likely the location that Kissy Missy is at the most, and when we saw her in chapter 2, that was just her wandering around the place because of her curiosity. And this all leads me to my second theory, and I'm gonna say that Poppy didn't even know that Kissy Missy was still alive and managed to find her wandering around Playcare. Now, we know that Poppy at least knew that Kissy Missy existed, as if you look at the Hour of Joy tape that Poppy shows us in the end of chapter 3, you can see that Kissy Missy is one of the experiments to attack the staff and was a part of the killing, which honestly contradicts her docile behavior and the way she acts with Poppy. So how did they become friends and not even just meet up? Perhaps Kissy Missy only attacked the staff who were experimenting on her and left the other ones alone, or she just attacked the people that she recognized as staff who were experimenting on the other toys. But anyway, it wouldn't make sense for Poppy to have already seen the tape and not acknowledge Kissy Missy's actions, let alone her existence. But it's likely that Poppy thought Kissy Missy had either been killed or starved to death. But how would that be the case? Well, when Kissy Missy attacks us in chapter 3, Poppy has to tell her that we're an ally and that we're here to help, meaning that Kissy Missy had no idea of our purpose being here, which honestly doesn't make a lot of sense at all due to 2 things. The first is that she helped us complete a puzzle in chapter 1, showing no signs of hostility even though we were probably seen as staff in her eyes. And the second actually includes Dog Day, as after navigating through the playhouse a bit, we come across Dog Day in a jail cell chained up to the wall. But listen to the very first thing he says when we find him.
You're Pappy's angel. up to save us.
Okay, how does Dog Day know about our existence, but Kissy Missy doesn't? Even though we encounter Kissy Missy first, and Poppy is seen going around play care with her. It's not like Kissy Missy doesn't understand what Poppy tells her, and it seems like she understands English completely. So maybe Poppy just didn't tell her about us? But if that's the case, why would she leave out such a crucial detail? And how would Dog Day know about this detail before Kissy Missy? If you guys want me to make a theory just about that alone, let me know down in the comments. But I honestly think it's just weird how everything played out regarding Dog Day and Kissy Missy. Maybe Catnap told Dog Day about us after leaving him in the jail cell, but I really have no idea as of right now. But what if after the train crash, Kissy Missy was nearby and heard everything going down, and when she saw us and Poppy collapsed on the floor, she decided to take Poppy to safety, and that started their alliance. And maybe when she saw us and Poppy on the floor, she thought that we were the reason as to why the train crashed and we died due to it. So she took Poppy someplace else and they decided to wander through play care together. And we never really hear Kissy Missy speak at all, so she wouldn't really be able to ask Poppy about us, and that might be the reason as to why the conversation never popped up. But even when we meet up with Poppy again, she doesn't seem surprised at all that we're still alive, like she knew for a fact that we would live through Catnap's attempt to kill us.
I'm glad that Ollie could help you get this far. He's the reason we found you at all.
But that's assuming that she was around to even see that Catnap brought us over to the trash compactor. Not to mention the fact that Poppy said that Ollie was the reason they found us in the first place. So does that mean she found Kissy Missy after landing somewhere far away from us after the crash, managed to either find Ollie in the flesh or talk to him over the phone and then find us? Because we were the one who freed her from her box all the way back in chapter 1. And not once did she mention the fact that she had already explored play care in chapter 2. Plus, she said, and I quote, "He was the reason we found you at all."
He's the reason we found you at all.
So this pretty much confirmed that Poppy found Kissy Missy before finding us, but everything else is just all over the place. So overall, it's unknown who went to find who. We don't know if Poppy went to find Kissy Missy because she didn't want to be alone, or Kissy Missy found Poppy because she heard the crash and wanted to make sure everything was okay. But judging by how nice they are to each other, especially with how gentle Kissy is with Poppy, it's possible that they first met all the way back in chapter 2. If we were to stick with this theory, it would make sense as to why there's a chance that Kissy Missy went to investigate the train crash, as in her mind, Poppy must have been involved with it since they weren't together. But what's also weird to me is how some toys are able to talk and some aren't, as again, we don't hear Kissy Missy talk at all, and when she attacks us, we can only hear a faint growl from her voice. Now we know that there are some experiments who are on the prototype side and agree with his beliefs, and this is most likely why the Hour of Joy was so successful. But for the ones who aren't, specifically Kissy Missy, it's clear that they have some type of friendly aura about them, and maybe Poppy was able to notice that within Kissy Missy. But how do you think Kissy Missy and Poppy met? And why is it that Kissy Missy wasn't aware of our intentions despite helping us in the second chapter? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video right here.